Alright YouTube, listen up. Off-Road Yo-Yo here, checking in on my progress during this 5A of May. Last time I checked in was about 8 days ago. I think that adds up, right? That was on the 2nd, today's the 10th. That is 8 days. 10 minus 2 is May. Yeah, so it's been about 8 days and I'm really liking it. I think 5A has been a lot of fun. I'm very happy that I've done this. If I was honeymooning on the 2nd, there's a chance I'm still honeymooning now, but either way, I'm having fun, so who really cares, right? After my last video, I got two pieces of advice fairly consistently. The first one was yes. The answer is yes, definitely look into using a shorter string length. I was using the string length that I like to use for 1A, and it felt a little unwieldy and weird, so shortening it has really tightened things up. It feels better, having a much better time. The other piece of advice I've gotten was several people saying, hey man, listen, we know you love your poppet, the poppet's great, but for your own health and safety, find something softer. And to be honest, I was very resistant to that advice at first, but for those who have been following along with the videos and the story times, we recently had to evacuate our house for a week and a half due to having new floors installed. And those new floors in our house had more to do with my caving in to a yo-yo change than my own personal safety. I don't know what that says about my character or intelligence, but once I started dropping the yo-yo a bunch on my new floor, I decided I couldn't be doing that. Things are still too new, it's too soon. Well, one change I did make to this was I put a quieter bearing in it. I have a DS Platinum bearing that I like to put into my noisier throws before I bring them into the office, just to avoid annoying people. And plastics generally qualify in the noisier side of the spectrum. So what we have here is a little muffled silency banger that my coworkers don't seem to care that I'm using. Trick progress wise, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling happy. It's fair to say that I'm a gradual learner. Gradual, not slow, though I might actually be slow. I'm definitely a slow and goer, not a super sprinter, for whatever that's worth. So hopefully my progress isn't exceptionally boring for a lot of you. But I'm only 3 or 4 more videos in this week than I was last week, but I'm having a lot of fun. And again, I think that's the point, right? So what have we learned since last week? Well, last week I couldn't really do anything. It was a disaster. I hurt myself. I almost died out here. Last week I was doing my best just to do these things, just to keep control of the counterweight and get a bind done without killing myself. I think I've got that down pretty good. And the latest trick that I like practicing a lot is this double or nothing release. And I like to kind of merge that, when that goes according to plan, with the trapeze double-ons. Am I saying it right? No, it's the letting go. It's the name I'm getting messed up on. You know, the trapeze thing. But the double or nothing throw and the subtlety of getting that counterweight out was really kind of a revelation for me, in that one of the things I'm really enjoying about 5A is you can't rush it, at least not at this particular skill level. You have to wait. You have to let the yo-yo decide how it's moving and wait for the counterweight before you can just start throwing things around. And I absolutely love that. I think it's making me smoother. My 1A feels a little smoother, but maybe I just look like a dancing idiot. But the way I like to describe my favorite 1A trick styles are, it's not the speed or the complexity. I like it when I'm watching someone that looks like the yo-yo is doing its own thing, and their whole interaction is just making sure the way is clear for that yo-yo. They're moving the strings out of the way so that the yo-yo can do what it was wanting to do. I can't think of a particular trick video or even an individual where I've gotten that feeling from, but I definitely have, and it's always fascinated me. And 5A seems to be kind of the gateway for me as to how that becomes a reality. The next trick I'm going to be practicing is the trapeze and brother. What's the word? Is it release? Brother release? I think release is the word I've been looking for. Where instead of just doing the trapeze releases like this, going back and forth, which I absolutely love doing, you're going into the brother configuration instead. That's the next trick I'm working on. When I'm playing yo-yo, I often feel like I could be the quest giver in an RPG with my little idle animation. I can just stand in one place, do the same trick over and over and over again, and occasionally give someone a pair of boots because they brought me 10 squirrel heads. I might be switching back to the poppet once I get my confidence up more and I stop dropping the yo-yo as much. But to be honest, I'm really content with the banger right now. I'm living the plastic life and it's being really good to me. And I might just hang out here for the month. I'll make it up to my poppet. Someday when I'm amazing and I'm winning awards all the time and people are stopping me on the street and saying, hey, you're that 5A guy. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we don't even yo-yo and we know that because you're on the news so much. When I'm that guy, I might start rocking the poppet again. I haven't felt the need to branch out my counterweight at all. This little guy has been perfectly fine. There are some really complicated ones on yo tricks, the ball bearing having ones, and the materialistic person inside of me absolutely wants one of those, but I don't think that's necessary at all at this point. So we'll keep it going with my little cheese square. And I'm trying to think what else there is to do in terms of progress or to talk about, and I don't think there is anything. It's a beautiful day. I got my yo-yo. I'm enjoying the tricks I'm learning. What else is there? Just a quick update on how my 5 AMA is going. That's why I'm down here, and I think I've done it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. And it's hard to keep my perspective on the string when I'm trying not to move my head. My wife said that the 5A vlog was the first video that made her really motion sick. I think it's because I was really freely moving my head around. So I'm a little self-conscious about that, but it's messing up my throwing, so maybe I'll stop caring.